they were boarded up at Reinhardt Public House. And after arriving by boat and by cart and by various means, they kind of got a layout of the scene and got mixed up in a little bit of trouble. They helped to divert a major disaster, a big log jam, literally, on the river, right off the docks.
I didn't do anything to help with that.
Well,
Yeah,
the collective they, the royal they. Hey, shut up. And basically, then there were some goblins that came along and were pilfering through these little sacks of grain to grab some smuggled somnium gems, and it ended mostly in explosions and mostly not very well for the goblins. Because of his brave actions on the docks, Jerry? Was it Jerry? Jerry made a friend in Wilfred, and he agreed to manage Jerry's goods and get them unloaded into the warehouse. And also our party charlatan, Professor Cumberbund,
Doctor
Pettyfog, unloaded some nasty swill, some kind of potatoy liquor in onto an unsuspecting public. And a mysterious character named Spencer. What is your character's name, Andy?
Well, he goes by Simon, but that's not his real name.
Simon.
He has
Okay,
a
mysterious character named.
A
A mysterious character named Simon we still don't know much about, but he was also present and participatory. And with that, we open on the Reinhardt Public House, and we're going to open with a scene down by the docks. So down by the docks, we find that Jerry, what is your character's name, Sam?
What?
Jerry Duster.
Jerry Duster is there speaking to his new friend. So, Jerry, you're on.
Is it this the guy that had the logs?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, Jerry. I talked to Reinhardt, and he's got you all settled up there. You'll just need to go talk to him and arrange your payment. But you're all loaded in and inventoried, and you just gotta go talk to him. I've got to be getting off back to the lumberjack camp. More trees to be cut down. A lot more trees.
All right. I appreciate your help, friend. You watch out for those log jams next time.
Oh, I will do. And, I'm not a noob anymore, so I know my way around. Hope to see you again here, Jerry. Come by the lumberjack camp. I'll introduce you to some of my friends, and maybe we can make a little business transaction.
Most certainly make a point to do that.
Okay, what's your move there, Jerry?
So I guess I'm gonna go back up to the hall. My payment.
Okay. So we'll come back to you, Jerry. But in the meantime, we have Mr. Cumberbund, and he's there by his medicine cart. And what are you doing by your medicine cart there, Cumberbund?
Oh, well, help me pack this up there, Mr. Bluecoat friend.
I told you we agreed we were not gonna do any names. You call me Sideshow Steve, and we keep it civil like that, okay? I'll help you pack your stupid cart.
That's a deal. Get to work.
Hey, listen, Professor, I know you're hawking all this hoo-ha and whatnot on these city rubes, but I was wondering if maybe you could get something for me.
What would that be?
Something special. Seeing as how we pulled off such a good job together.
Okay. You have the coin to acquire such a thing?
Well, I got my share of this sham, don't I? What I'm looking for is, and I'd really like to get my hands on some. And he kind of looks both ways, and he leans in close to you and says, I'm looking for some nasty. Got any idea where I can get my hands on some of that?
Yep, I think I do. What kind do you want?
What kind? I think there's only one kind of nasty, the kind that, does what it does. He kind of looks about, and he kind of looks and kind of scratches his collarbone a little bit. And you can tell he's kind of, he's got bare feet. He's got ragged clothes. He's just some guy that you made arrangement with that you met earlier this week. He seems like a little bit of a lowlife, and you didn't know that he had a habit. And for your own information, you have no idea what nasty is. But it sounds like some kind of slang for some kind of deranged potion of some sort.
I don't know if I have any connections here in town, unless you can point me in the right direction.
He says, you know what? Fine, forget about it. Just give me my money and you'll never see me again. God damn it. And he gets real hostile real quick. Come on, hand it over. I got somewhere to be.
Well, I've got to do the proper write-up with my books.
No, come on. Just give me some cash and like let's get moving. Don't try to fuck me.
Yeah, you just be patient. We had a deal about how long it would take you to get paid.
Yeah, we had a deal that we get paid after you were packing up your shop to leave town, which is what it looks like you're about to do.
It's gonna rain later. I'm just closing it up because it's gonna rain. You need
listen.
You need to go inside.
I'm gonna talk to some people, but if you flip out and walk off on me without giving me my gold, you're gonna have something coming, Professor. That he walks off from the docks. So what's your move, Professor?
Let's see. I might wait around for Jerry. See what happens.
Okay. So you, as you are there packing up your cart, you see Jerry come up the steps, and he's on his way to the public house. And you guys have got a minute, so go for it.
Well, where are you off to, Mr. Cumber?
Well, I like to keep moving, but I was thinking maybe just be ready to move. That way, I was kind of thinking about the Baron and his home.
Yeah, I was I found it a little disturbing that those guards wandered off into the wilderness after the goblins disappeared.
I'm intrigued. I think there might be some money in it for us.
Well, seeing as how they were guarding a small stash of somnium, I don't see why following them couldn't lead to a larger haul.
I met this guy, the guy in the blue shirt, starting to freak out on me. Something bad's gonna happen to him.
Well,
just throwing that out there.
Keep pushing it. You can't stop talking. Somebody's got to be talking here.
Maybe we shouldn't be around when that happens.
I think it'll be all right.
Okay, well, for the time being, I'm gonna get my loot and prepare my boat. If you'd like to be there for parts, I think that would be all right.
All right. Yeah, I might go in with you there and then see what the scene's like in there.
So you guys continue on up past the gate and to the front door of Reinhardt's public house. It's the evening, and there's a warm glow coming from inside. As you open the door, you see the stern-faced and facially scarred elf and his timid manservant companion. They're standing by the bar, and they are engaged with Reinhardt, the inn's purveyor here. And there we are. So you walk in on this little scene here. And Reinhardt's right in the middle of a conversation. He seems to be relating the story, one that he takes great relish in, and he must have told hundreds, if not thousands of times, where he single-handedly and with this very spear killed the Danish hell pig that is mounted near the fire. And so I just locked myself in. I raised my spear up in the air and put it right through the beast's heart. He went down and he never come back up.
Langdon yawns very dramatically and kind of looks over at his servant friend, and shakes his head in a sorrowful, pitiful way.
And as Jerry and the professor enter the bar, Reinhardt takes note of them and says, "Hey, I've been meaning to talk to you two. I'm trying to get. We got a little off topic, but I need to find out what happened tonight. There's been a lot of weird shit that went on, and there was goblins here. There was an explosion. I need to hear your accounts of what happened."
Oh, you're telling me, Reinhardt. I think you and I have a little debt to settle, though. First.
Ah, yes. I talked to Wilfred about your credit, and seems he was very appreciative of your help with the docks. We've got you all settled up here. I've tallied all your goods. Now, of course, I can't give it to you fully in gold. I just don't have that kind of trade goods. But we've got your pick of things to redeem here. It'll be a lighter load than you came in with. And so he informs you that you've got 30 gold pieces worth of credit, but he's only got 10 gold pieces that he's willing to part with, trade currency. So he hands you the 10 gold, and he says he has some other various goods that you might take. And he says that some of this will be worth a good price, other places. He says you can't get, it's not everywhere that you can get ale and apple brandy. Most places in the Veltland, there's not a lot of farming going on, and a steady supply of grain that can be used for some luxurious a good as ale is pretty rare. So basically, he has barrels of ale at 5 gold pieces, value. There's large barrels, 60 gallons of ale, and so those are 5 gold pieces. He's also got a small barrel of apple brandy from his local apple tree, and it's 5 gold pieces for a 5-gallon barrel of that, or it's 2 gold pieces for a 1-gallon barrel. And beyond those trade goods, he also says that he has a horse for sale. If you're interested, he could part your credit out towards a horse. And the other stuff he says is probably not worth your time as far as, if you're trying to have a light load.
Okay. So the horse would basically be my share of the credit.
You could not afford the horse with just your credit. The horse is valued at 50 gold pieces, 10 gold pieces for a good saddle to go with it. And you saw the horse, hitched outside. It's a nice looking horse, in the prime of its life. It's a premium package. It's a premium used vehicle.
Certified.
Would it fit on my boat?
Yeah, you could probably fit the horse on the boat with you. Yeah. I'm gonna say yes, you could. It might get, yeah, definitely.
Might get hilarious.
Might get shit everywhere.
Well, I guess I'm gonna take. You said I'll whatever he deems fit in trade of the brandy and ale.
Okay, well, you can get the kind of best bang for your buck is going to be 4 large barrels of apple brandy, and this is Reinhardt's premium apple brandy. It's probably going to fetch a better price elsewhere as an import good,
Yeah.
He says that'd be a wise investment if you can keep from tapping into it on your journey to the cities.
Well, that's the real trick, isn't it?
And let me tell you, I wouldn't blame you for tapping in a bit. I think you boys will enjoy it.
Okay, so
Put some pep in your step.
How much is in each barrel?
So there are 4 5-gallon barrels. So those can easily fit in terms of like in-game mechanics. We'll have 2 crates that can hold all those for you.
Okay, and then what's the approximate value of that?
So basically, in the trade good that you're dealing with here, that's 20 gold pieces worth of this stuff. Though you'll probably he claims that you'll get a better price than that. And if you were to piece it out maybe on your own and sell it in smaller batches, who knows?
Okay, but is that
it looks? Yeah, you just say. Yeah, 4.
Reference haggle with it on. So is it 20 altogether, or 20 barrel, or what?
Sorry, I didn't catch that. What'd you say?
I just want a rough reference point so I can haggle with it later if I need to. Was it 20?
Oh yeah, so say 20 gold. That's effectively what you traded for it is 20 gold. You'd hope to get a better price, So that's like 5 gold pieces a barrel.
Gotcha.
And then Reinhardt points to the professor, feather in his cap, and he says, "I'm sure that this one could spin that apple brandy out many times over."
Only if it had magical properties. Around.
And then Reinhardt is a last remark to Jerry. He says, "Your blue skin friend out there, he also he put in a good word for you, and him and some of his buddies, they mucked something up. You got a surprise waiting down for you on the boat, and they're looking for your best interest there. So I won't say anything more." And
that's the ticket.
Then he says, "All right, will you gentlemen be dining and staying with us tonight?"
Well, yes, of course.
Okay. He says, "You know what? Appreciate doing a little business. Why don't you go take a seat by the fire, and I'll make sure some food is sent over to you."
Much obliged, friend.
Okay, so you guys kind of, do your little trade, brush your hands, and then you move over to the warmth of the fireplace here. And Jerry, you're there, but you're just not pictured in this photograph. So you guys go down and you sit at the fireplace, and you're on the clock. You guys work it out. What's the next step?
Well, we should try.
Didn't quite hear that.
I didn't hear that either.
Maybe speak up there, mate. Can hardly hear you back there.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's because. Hold on a second. I think my phone case makes it hard for it.
Okay, Simon, you have something that you've been meaning to say to the group, and it's about time that you got it off your chest. So you're on the timer. Go.
Who is?
You are.
You are.
Oh, I just got back. I just heard the last part.
You didn't listen.
Simon, you have something you have something you've been meaning to get off your chest, and you think it's time that you told the group this thing that you've been waiting to say.
Boys, I'm still covered in flour. You think I can get some new clothes, Mr. Cumberbatch?
New clothes. Just
New clothes. You can work for new clothes. I gave you a gold piece yesterday, and yet you got your grubby flour fingers all over my bags.
Well,
You
I
work
got
for
this
my
thing.
new clothes.
This secret. Maybe if I tell you the secret, you can give me some new clothes.
Better be a good secret.
Or give me a wash. Well, I've got this thing. You know those little rocks. You call them somnium, right? Well, I can extract those. What I do is I take take Daddy's old cigar, and I blow smoke, and I actually forgot how the whole procedure goes.
Yeah, you're blowing smoke, all right. Blowing smoke right out your ass.
True, damn it, it's true.
It is true.
I
You are
can feel
blowing
it.
smoke out your ass.
I'll show you.
Nobody knows where this shit comes from, and you
I
don't
do.
either.
Okay, so basically, you guys, if this is true, if this Simon character or whatever his real name is, if he's a puller, and you look out about the bar to see if anybody else heard this, that's a pretty serious deal. And he's somebody you probably want to make friends with, because knowing the puller can be a big deal.
Damn it.
So you're probably going to want to somehow verify whether this guy's telling the truth or not.
Well, Mr. Simon,
I'll show you. You make with the clothes first. I'm covered in flour.
I tell you what, you can have some of my clothes, Mr. Simon.
Okay.
They might be a little bit.
All right, so Sam, you know how Jerry, you know how the breakdown goes. If you can take 5 silver pieces worth of your whatever gold you have in place, you can get him re-outfitted with a brand new set of clothes.
Okay.
And as Reinhardt comes over to the drop off the food, which in this case is everyone gets a little pour. He puts a small bottle and 4 little horn cups around, and he pours everybody a little bit of the Reinhardt apple brandy. And then he's got a nice plate with some barley bread, some cheese, looks like probably sheep's cheese, and some sausages. And they look like real old, hard sausages. Kind of like Reinhardt probably has.
Nice.
Tell me, Reinhardt, how did you become a proprietor of such a fine establishment?
Well, I tell you, there was a great, funny story. You see the old girl there hanging on the wall, looking fine as the day we met, and he motions to the big bust of the pig there, and he says, "Well, there was a great bounty out on this hell pig here, and let's just say that I cashed in that bounty, and it gave me enough cash to go out and make my way in the world. That and a meager sum I had put away from my years as a hunter and mercenary."
Well, that's a compelling tale.
You're flashing that $5 in my face. Is there something you want me to do with that?
Oh, well, we did make ourselves a new friend here, and out of the kindness of my own heart, I thought maybe you could see to it that he finds himself some new clothing.
Oh, here we've got something for you. It might be a little rougher than this this leather that you're wearing, but why don't I get you in some of my old duds and we'll have somebody clean off those clothes for you.
I would appreciate
flour.
it.
Just flour after all. Okay. Here, go go and have some privacy if you need it.
No, I'll do it right in front of these guys. I trust them now.
So he gives you he grabs your old flowery clothes and he motions to one of his someone's and he kind of whistles and then you see Sideshow Steve comes hobbling over and his eyes are all bugged out and kind of yellow looking. He looks kind of weird, but he grabs the clothes and he kind of shuffles off and goes, "Damn, son." He was mumbling about something. Shut up, son.
Damn tweakers.
You're telling me.
What? Why do you say that? That's what Reinhardt says. You talking about Steve there?
Oh, I said, damn twinkles from the fire.
Tell you what, I don't know what the hell you're talking about with that, but Steve's been making me nervous lately.
I don't know why you get that impression.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm probably just being a paranoid old man, but I don't know. I like to have some ale or some strong ale and maybe some brandy every once in a while, but some of these young folks, they get into harsher stuff, and I don't know. It's just not right. And he kind of starts to walk off.
Well, what do you guys think he's talking about?
Well, it's some kind of substance. Anyway, he was asking me to get something for him, but I didn't really know what he was talking about. But he was also trying to steal money from me, so so I don't trust him.
You don't suppose he's talking about somnium?
You mean this stuff?
You don't think that he was talking about somnium, Professor?
Oh shit!
He mentioned a substance called by some colloquial name. He called it Mass Tea.
No, I don't think it was somnium. Something different. Something called Mass Tea.
Mass Tea.
That's right.
So why don't y'all? I think maybe I'm going to give Langdon a role for that. He's kind of spent some time in the Veltlands. He's been around. And do you have any kind of arcane knowledge or like history or anything like that, Langdon? Langdon. Can't hear you, bro.
Oh shit.
Oh, now we can hear you.
Okay, it must be my headphones. That explains why whenever I said anything, no one made any sort of indication of a response.
Yeah, bring your head up, man.
And I was like,
what are you saying?
I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, I've got like knowledge arcana, so.
Oh, perfect. Why don't you do a roll knowledge arcana check, please?
14.
Sorry, what was that?
14.
14, okay. So you don't know what tea is, but you know that there you know that somnium can be brewed into strange potions and magical elixirs, not dissimilar to what your companion.
Well, it's probably talking about some sort of drug related to somnium. In these parts, they'll do anything to make it last, boil it down, break it up, cut it with something. Wouldn't be surprised if this nasty was an amalgamation.
The last piece of the puzzle. The last piece of puzzle here, Langdon, is that you know that in some severe cases that in your mind, you know that in some extreme cases, especially amongst non-humans to the Veldt lands, they sometimes use somnium to contact powerful entities from other planes.
Okay. I'm not going to share that part. But Professor, or Doctor, rather,
Yes.
why don't you just give him one of your potions? I'm sure that young troubled fellow wouldn't know the difference in his state. And we can maybe get him off the town's back. This backwater town doesn't need more wretch like him stewing about.
Well, I'd also been thinking about perhaps keeping him around for having an extra hand.
We have our extra hand. Our fine friend here with the flowery clothes. He's come around as our extra hand.
That is true.
And he's far more valuable than some tweaker. Twinkler, my bad.
Yes.
My apologies.
But as you see, this young man does not have the same desire for new and fancy clothes. He simply walks around barefoot in that same jacket all the time. He could be useful.
You talking about me? Who are you talking about?
We're talking about Stockholm Steve. What was his name?
Sideshow Steve.
Oh, good.
Whatever.
Stockholm.
In any case, if you want to drag him around, that's fine. It's your responsibility, though. I don't tend to mix with that type of lot, and I'd sooner be happy to see him gone and drown in the river than to be hanging around with us.
I could arrange that as well. Oh,
now that's a deal I can get onto.
I'm sure we could find some use for a strapping young lad that has a history of substance abuse.
Okay, so Simon, you know that if you're going to successfully complete an extraction ritual tonight, you probably had better get started. So if you're going to prove your abilities to the group,
can you go over how that works again? You told it to me once.
Yeah. So Simon, you know that during an Insomnium extraction ritual, a target, a dreamer in the common parlance, they're going to enter sleep and enter a sleep state, and then you as the puller are going to perform a ritual where you slowly draw the somnium out of their astral body, essentially. And every puller, potentially has their own way of doing it. Yours involves blowing cigar smoke over what is your catcher?
I believe it was Grandpappy's flat rock.
Okay, so you've got this old stone that has all these mandalic kind of centrally radially symmetrical patterns emanating from it that you use to collect dreamstone. And so you know that if you're gonna, it basically, so a participant, willing or otherwise, is sleeping, and the puller, while they sleep, will draw their dream out from them, and this process will basically, it'll take most of the night, and it will extract basically both participants will not get their sleep for the night, but the effects won't really be a detriment to the puller if they're just doing it one night in a row. It's just, you give up some sleep basically. But then for the other participant, for the person who gets pulled from, they won't receive any healing or any rest from the sleep, and they'll wake up fatigued and kind of, they won't feel very good, kind of like a mild hangover basically.
Okay.
Like a very gentle hangover, really.
That doesn't sound too bad.
So,
yeah. Well, thank you for the close, Mr. What was your name again?
Oh, Duster. Mr. Duster. Please call me Jerry.
Mr. Jerry Duster. Okay. Well, Mr. Duster and Mr. Cumberbund, I'm an honest man, so I'll tell you what I can do. I can extract this somnium stuff out of people's dreams, and it looks like that Mr. Sideshow, but he might be a good target. He might fall asleep soon, and we can extract some somnium from him.
Okay, I'll have to see this done personally.
It's going to take all night. I sure hope you have some elixirs that'll keep you up.
I got something that'll put him down, I'd say.
Well, let's use that too. You'll have to.
Okay, so what's the move, guys?
Well, we need to lure in Mr. Tweaker over there. And
tell him you got some of that nasty or something. Bring him to a room. I'm an honest man. Lure him into a room.
Feed him one of your sleeping elixirs, Doctor. But just tell him that the nasty has been dissolved in the potion.
Or it's a new flavor.
That'll work, all right.
Okay, so Professor, you don't have any sleeping elixirs per se, but I'm going to say that if you talk to Reinhardt and you maybe expend a little bit of the apple brandy, you could maybe cook something up with a successful roll.
Well, I've got plenty of apple. I've got plenty.
If you want to piece together a makeshift sleeping potion, which would basically be just some kind of toxic knockout roofie thing.
All right. Well, with a little bit of that apple brandy, I could cook something up. Or what I was planning on doing was just choking him out, but we can do the potion too.
Another option, perhaps, is that we could challenge him to a drinking contest, the winner of which would receive the nasty.
Yeah, that would.
That sounds like a honest plan there. What do you say, honest man?
That sounds pretty good.
Professor, why don't you get your boy? Why don't you go talk to your boy and tell him that some drinks will be on me tonight, and then we'll set this little wager up.
All right, I'm on it.
Okay, so all we need now is a room to perform the ritual on.
You could use my room.
Very well. We'll use your quarters.
Okay, so
I'll go ahead and lead everyone up there.
Yeah, why don't the three of us go there, and then, Doctor, you convince your friend that you found what he's looking for, and lead him to the quarters we'll be in.
Until I see you up in room 3D.
3D, yeah.
3D.
Okay, so you guys head up to the room. It is room 3. There's only 4 rooms, but it's room 3. And you guys head up to the room and you kind of get things ready. And Professor, you're going after Sideshow Steve?
Yes.
Okay, so you walk over to the bar and Reinhardt, he motions, I think somebody's looking for you out there.
Looking for me?
Yeah, your friend, Steve.
Steve. Okay. I'll be right. I'll go out there. I'll find him. I'll deal with him.
Okay, you go out and you see Steve anxiously pacing about in front of your locked-up medicine cart.
It's good to see you again, friend.
Hey, you!
I've been looking for you.
Now I'm serious, man. I need to get paid. I got somewhere to be.
Well, I know you had asked me before about the Nas tea.
That's tea, yeah. Why? No, it's all right. I got something figured out. Just give me my money and let me get going.
Well, I was wondering if you'd like to partake with me and my friends.
What, you got some? What friends?
Yeah, we do, up in the room. We've got a tab going with drinks from Reinhard.
All right, well, make a check here, Fergus. Make a bluff check or a deception roll or something. What kind of skill you got there?
Deception. Yeah, deception.
Okay, make a deception
14.
check. You're gonna roll against. Okay. You got a 14?
Yeah.
So he rolled an 18. He doesn't smell what you're stepping in. He says, "You don't have any nasty. I don't think you even know what the fuck nasty is. Give me my money, man, or else there's gonna be trouble." And he pulls out his little knife, his little kind of his little Bowie knife.
All right, no need for that. All right, I'll level with you. All right, I can't fool you. So, I need your help, and we can double your money and get paid tonight.
All right, make another bluff check.
9.
Oh, 9. Okay. He says, "Bullshit. Seriously, unless you want to start something, you better give me the gold that you owe me."
All right.
He looks around nervously, and you can see that he looks gaunt. His eyes are all yellow, and all of a sudden he straps and he says, "Now!" And you hear his almost like his voice changes a little bit.
Look, I got robbed. Okay, I'm gonna try and fool him again. I don't have the gold because some rich feller took it from me.
Okay, we're gonna go get some gold from your fuck off friends. And he grabs you by the waist and he pulls you in and he puts a knife to your side here.
We'll get it. We'll get the gold. I need your help.
Step lively. And he kind of pushes you forward through, towards the door with the knife at your side here.
All right, just act cool, all right?
Come on, I'm serious. Keep walking.
All right, I'm going to go up to the room here.
Okay, so you guys head up to the room, and Sideshow Steve walks you up the stairs. And he walks you up those stone steps, up out of the hall, and past the large copper kettle, and up to a upstairs room here. Just a second. Okay.
Sideshow Steve. How did you get duped by Sideshow Steve?
All of a sudden, you guys are in the smallest room. It's got a simple bed, and here we are. There's a knock at the door. Knock, knock, knock. Open up.
I'll get it.
Okay, Langdon, you open the door and you see the professor standing there, looking rather nervous, with Sideshow Steve following close behind him, intimately so.
Oh, our guest. Welcome.
Yes, I told him of
you were here for the drinks, right?
All right, assholes, everybody, shut up. Get where I can see you. I'm serious. This guy owes me money, and if I don't get paid, he's gonna get his guts spilled on the floor.
Well, how much does he owe you?
He owes me 5 gold pieces.
Oh, he owes you 5 gold pieces, Steve. Oh, that is an awful lot of money, isn't it, for someone like you? Well, Steve, we can very much make it worth your while. I can give you the 5 gold pieces now. I have them on me. Or if you'd like to double that, we'd like to just have you sit down with us for a drink or two.
Okay, roll some kind of charisma checks. I'll let you guys. I'll let you guys all roll, and we'll take advantage. Well, let's have.
I got a 17.
Okay, we'll call that good. Sideshow Steve, he seems desperate. He pushes the professor, Dr. Cumbers, a little bit further into the room here, and he says, Yeah, okay. And he kind of takes a few deep breaths. I gotta make this quick. I got someplace to be tonight. It's important.
Take Steve.
Well,
I know this guy. Take the 5 now. Get what you can up front, and then we'll double your money.
Okay. Well, give me the 5.
Whoa! Not before.
Give me the 5. Give me the 5.
We have our drinks up here, right? That was the plan.
Yeah, you've got your stuff out. It's on the table there. You guys are playing some cards and stuff.
I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna put a drink in for myself and push one over to him to say, just sit and talk for a moment.
Okay, so you pour a drink there, and you pour another apple thing for Steve there, and it's going to take an imperceptible amount out of one of these kegs that Jerry has. And so you each you have a drink here of little apple brandy, and it is smooth and very very mildly sweet. It tastes like autumn locked up in a golden little cup here. So, yes, okay. So, how are you gonna double my money? What's going on here? What the fuck? What the fuck is going on here exactly?
I will double your money, Steve. I just wanted to have a conversation with you. The brandy is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. He sips it and he's done. He's like, "Come on, I got someplace to be. Come on." He's getting agitated.
Where are you going, Steve? What is so important that you're rushing off so quickly?
Okay, listen, if you gotta know, I got some friends, and I'm gonna pick up some stuff, and it's not a big deal.
Well, all right then, Steve. Well, if you really do have to go, how about just one more drink with us, and we'll call it good. I'll give you the one more drink, the 10 gold pieces, and we'll get you out on your way.
Okay, fine. Pour it up. Let's get the hell out of here.
And I snap for another drink, and I'm gonna try to make a nod to I'm gonna make a nod over to Jerry to kind of be like, I need some help over here taking some action, getting this guy knocked out. Be like,
Okay, Jerry, it's your move. What are you gonna do?
Okay. Well, I'm going to while he's preparing his drink, I'm going to subtly shift over to my bag where I've got a pickaxe that I'm going to use the blunt end of to try and knock him out.
Okay, he's kind of around the table from you in the corner. He's got the professor here under the knife. You'll have advantage because he's kind of distracted, but make a sleight of hand check to as you kind of go for your bag here.
Okay.
He's going to make the perception roll for you.
I got a 15.
Okay, so he doesn't notice you as you're going in your bag, and you manage to pull out. You've got behind you concealed your pickaxe. So you're out of range of him right now. You can get right near the professor to be able to be in range to smack Steve here. So Langdon, you notice him go for his pickaxe, and Simon, it's your turn.
So who's going for his pickaxe? Sorry.
You notice that, make a perception check here.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to say that you notice it. You notice that these guys are kind of trying to organize some motion here. You see that Jerry went for his pickaxe, and Langdon's kind of talking to Steve, kind of talking him down, keeping him calm.
I got a 6. I don't perceive much.
Well, you perceive that. Okay. What are you going to do?
I'm going to cower in fear.
Okay.
I don't really know what my character would do, honestly.
All right, well, that's fine. That's an acceptable answer. Okay, Professor, it's your turn.
Well, doctor. I am a doctor, after all. Let's have a drink. Yeah. Mind putting that thing away, Steve?
Langdon, Steve pulls you tight with that thing. He says, "Hey, you're way past me listening to your bullshit. And he motions for Langdon to pour his glass here.
And I go ahead and pour him a glass, and I slide it over to him.
Yeah.
And
you gonna drink with me?
Oh, I'll drink with you. And I raised my glass and I said, "To your health." And I
says, "Okay."
Cheers him, hit the table, and take a sip of my brandy.
Okay, so as he raises his glass up, I'm gonna give an action to either Langdon, or excuse me, either Jerry or Doctor, whoever wants to try to do something. Doctor, I guess, goes first if he's gonna try to do something. He's more direct. As the glass is being raised, there's a brief moment where he's kind of distracted here.
All right. I want to push away from the table as quickly as I can.
Okay, make just a dexterity roll here. We'll make a dexterity check. He's going to react to you. 6. Okay, he rolled a 4. So he kind of almost crits as you slip out of his grasp here, and he goes, and he sort of chokes on the brandy, and he starts coughing, and he smashes his dagger into the table and sticks it in there. He's like, "You son of a bitch." And he, basically kind of gets up and he's all furious looking. He's got veins coming out in his neck. And then, Jerry, it's your turn. You got an action right now as this is happening.
Okay. Calm down, Steve. We'll get you paid and get out of here. Why don't you toss the young man his gold?
Me?
Okay, Langdon.
Yes.
And I'm gonna grab the pouch that's been at my side. Doesn't have gold and it has my somnium in it. I'm gonna go, this gold? And wait, actually, real quick, Woody, out of game.
Yeah.
Do I have because we started with some somnium spells, right?
Yeah.
With mine, I had a command one. Is that something that I already know how to use?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna I'll go, this gold, and I'm gonna take out a piece of somnium and try to command him to sleep.
Okay. What do you think your character's relevant, statistic, or what would be the relevant attribute for your character to do this ability?
Either intelligence or wisdom.
Okay, well, let's say it's wisdom then.
Okay.
And he's going to make an opposed roll, and we'll give you a +1 for every piece of somnium that you throw for this roll.
Okay, give me 1 second. I want to just see how many I have.
You're probably just going to want to use one.
Yeah, I'm just going to use one.
So we'll give you a +1 to the roll. And
cool.
You've just got to, basically we'll say that your first level, so you'll get like a total of a +2. We'll give you 1 for your kind of caster level and 1 for the for using 1 somnium. And he'll roll an opposed will save.
Cool.
And I'm going to give him, I'll make my roll here. You make yours.
Cool. I got a 13.
Okay, so you throw, and there's a little red flash that goes through the air, and it kind of hits this guy in the face. He stumbles backwards, and you have a second here to make your command, one-word command, let's say it's a
sleep.
So he leans backwards, and he goes whoosh, and you see him crumple against the wall and kind of fall into a heap. He is fast asleep.
Oh.
Well, not quite the drinking games, but fun nonetheless.
That's quite the trick there.
I'm going to approach him with the handle of my pickaxe and just poke him to ensure he's asleep.
Okay, you give him a little poke, and he's out cold. You don't know for how long, but yeah, he's sleepy.
Okay. Well, I suppose we ought to get started now.
Suppose we shall.
All right, boys, let's do it.
Okay, so you all you spend the night there witnessing Simon, and Simon, you've got you're on the timer here. Tell us how you perform this ritual.
Well, we lay him down flat. Can we put him on a bed or something?
Yeah, okay. So
boys.
You guys,
No, not on my bed. On the table. I'm gonna sleep.
He's already there. It's too. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, we got him laying down flat, arms askew, like that, legs apart, and we put the rock on his chest, okay? And I take this magical cigar that never runs out of tobacco. I light it up, just like this. Take a nice few puffs, and I blow it all over his body. And then after a while, the somnium crystals will start to appear on the rock, but it takes a long time. So you might want to get some lamps ready because we're going to be here all night long.
All right, so you guys witness as Simon, meticulously performs this ritual, and over the course of the next couple hours, some little kind of dust and swirling red mist starts to form in the bowl, and slowly Simon coaxes it and kind of concentrates, and eventually there's a bright, shining new red somnium gem sitting on what looks like a very spent sideshow Steve here as he's sprawled out on the table. And the ritual is done, and the somnium's performed, and Simon, you can add 1 somnium gem to your inventory.
Whoa, Simon! Not to be rude, but
yeah.
I helped put him down with one of my pieces of somnium.
Yeah, I was there all night doing the ritual, so you don't get to have the rock, okay? If you want another one, you can get another unconscious guy, and you can pay me some money because I need some cash.
I'm going to unveil what is it? Oh, the shaker's paw. I'm gonna pull that out and just hold it near where Simon had the gem out, just to kind of check and see if it's legit.
So you see this thing in this, it's got like, 1 or 2 kind of broken fingers, and it goes, it's like, it's, boink, 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 boink. It's pointing at that piece of somnium nearby, reaching out for it, hungry for it.
My God. He was telling the truth.
You didn't believe me? I told you. I'm an honest man. I just ran into a little bit of trouble back home, and I owe some guys some money. That's it.
Well, perhaps we can make this little venture of yours a little more lucrative.
That does sound pretty interesting, sir. What do you need me to do?
Well, we're going to have to find more patsies.
Speaking of patsies, can we get this one out of my room already? You stunk it up enough.
You're starting to wake up.
All right, there is a window in this room, and it overlooks the river nearby.
Jesus. Now, y'all aren't thinking of throwing him out the window, are you?
We're all just standing looking at the window.
You two, and I point to Simon and Jerry, and I said, out the window with them.
I'm having no part in that.
If you want a job done right, you have to do it yourself. And Jerry, help me with this.
All right.
I go down and I grab his feet.
Yeah, I'll grab his arm.
Okay, so you guys lift, and you see that there's a little barge running out on the river. It's got a little lamppost, and it seems like the back of the barge is all full of sacks of grain headed upriver here.
Now's our chance. We better get him out of here. Send him upriver.
Get him out of this. Take the trash all the way out of town. I like your thinking.
All right, so go ahead and make an attack roll, you two, if you're shooting for the barge.
Okay. Well, we'll throw him on 3.
You guys are rolling against a 10. You're rolling against a 10 here. Easy roll.
Oh, cool. I got a 10.
Okay.
Woo.
Okay, so you give him a toss. He flies out the window and lands somewhat softly in a pile of these sacks of grain, and he floats off up the river, down the river, over it goes.
I rolled a natural 1, Woody.
Well, he doesn't have too comfortable landing, but he makes it onto the barge, and he kind of, you kind of let him go too early, so he goes like spinning, And you kind of like what would have been a pretty neat drop just ends up being this kind of lands in this crumpled mess in the barge.
Lands on his neck.
But nobody seems to notice. Very well might have landed on his neck. You don't know. But you had your
Doesn't really matter with this type.
You had your somnium, and I guess you got what you came for. Okay. So, what's your plan, guys? I know that there was some talk of going
I want
over to the Baron's Manor.
Yeah, I want to talk to Reinhardt.
Okay. So, you're going downstairs?
Yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs. I want to talk to Reinhardt.
All right, you return to the bar, and you see that Reinhardt is kind of closing things up for the night.
Good morning, Reinhardt.
Oh, it's pretty early to be morning just yet. I'm just closing things down. Is there anything I can do for you, Langdon?
Oh, not much. I just wanted to come down. I'm glad I caught you. I was up all. Wait, what time is it?
It's like it's like past midnight.
Okay, it's not.
It's like the closing hour. I'd say maybe 2:00 in the morning or something like that. Reinhardt's he's packing everything up for the night.
I've been up all night thinking, drinking, mostly thinking though. And what I've been pondering is that story of the boar. How you went out there and slayed that old maid for a bounty, huh?
His eyes kind of light up, and he says, "Yeah."
Could you tell me that one again? There, friend?
Oh well.
What exactly was What was the deal with the boar?
He starts into the story, and he's kind of tired, but he kind of puts the energy in for this particular occasion, and he's talking about how out in the broad Veldlands, outside of the city of Bridges, there was this great big hell pig. They call them Danish hell pigs, giant pigs, kind of like a cross between a pig and a wolf. And this thing was terrorizing some of the chain lines, and he and his crew went out to hunt the big beast, and basically the rest of his guys got gored, but he took his great spear and he planted it, he speared it through the hell pig's heart, and he took home a mighty bounty that allowed him to travel out to some of the more remote regions and start the public house that you're keeping up.
And you took home the old maid, isn't that right? Well, that's quite
right.
Something to be proud of there, Reinhardt. I've just been thinking and drinking, and mostly thinking, though, and thinking about your old maid. Where is your daughter?
Oh, Francesca. I can't keep track of her anymore, really. She's becoming her own woman, and I gotta say she's given her father a hell of a time.
Hell of a time. Just one hell beast after another, I'd imagine.
She's probably off with that young lumberjack fella she's been spending some time with, if I had to guess.
Wouldn't be so certain. I saw her disappear. Huh?
What do you mean?
Oh, I saw her go off this morning on a boat. Remember, you two had that little tiff. She ran out of here shouting and screaming and hollering. Well, I went to go see what the commotion was all about, and she was in a boat with the Baron.
He looks at you with suspicion. He says, "Really?"
Honest man. I'm an honest man here, Reinhardt.
He tells you telling the truth, but he's confused. He said, "Wait, why would she have gone with the Baron?"
I don't know. I just saw her jump into his boat. She's smiling as all could be, though. He
says, "Listen, I gotta close up the bar. I gotta look into some stuff here."
Oh, well, Reinhardt. We have time. You have all night. Tell me, you seem distressed by this. Is everything all right?
Well, it's just that me and the Baron don't get along too good. We're both kind of big men in a town that's not really quite big enough for the two of us. This little river stop, and gosh, he's probably, if he is spending time with Francesca, it's probably just to get under my craw.
No doubt about that. And
Fucking shit-stained little piss.
Oh, he's the smallest little piss that ever could be. Now, Reinhardt
raises an eyebrow about that expression. He says, "Hey, listen, I don't know what you're getting at, but I'll catch a boat out in the morning, and I'll go talk to the Baron. I'll get this settled up. You don't need to worry about it."
No, buddy. I'm an excellent facilitator in these types of manners. I deal with nobles all the time, nobles and barons all the time. I'd be happy to help you.
Listen, I'm an old salt. I've roamed the Veldlands for too long, and I'm not built for this kind of thing. If you could take care of it and go get my daughter, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely. I just like any information you have on the Baron before I go, just so I can be in tip-top shape.
Well, the Baron's your typical frontier asshole kind of Baron type. He got a big commission from one of the bigger real barons in the cities, and came out here, and he extorts us all basically. His manor sits right on top of the lock that controls any boats going up or down the river, north of the public house, that is. And lately, he's been just really squeezing the trade around here and really putting the screws on us. What can I say? He's a small-time douchebag, and he's too big for his britches, and yeah, he's a real pain in my balls, basically.
And what about the goblins? Goblins are already putting a pinch on you, and he doesn't seem to be doing anything about it.
Listen, I don't know much about the goblins. I know that they're disgusting little creatures wherever you find them. I can't say that I've ran into them much. I know that the Baron, there's rumors that there's a goblin camp somewhere outside of the logging camp, somewhere remote in the woods, and mostly people stay away because they don't like the smell of goblins and they don't like the mischief that they get up to. The fact that there was a couple spotted around my establishment tonight is not a good sign. And the rumor is that they've been running moonshine in and out of that camp, and I don't know. I don't like that shit coming into my establishment, I tell you what. But as far as I know, the Baron had a truce with whichever one of the goblins calls himself Honcho or Hefe or whatever. That's all I know about it.
All right, well, that's more than I had heard. I appreciate
Grizz.
your.
That's his name. They call him Grizz.
Grizz. All right. Well, thank you. Thanks so much here, Reinhardt. You have a good rest of your night. Get some sleep. We'll be sure to head out in the morning and get your daughter right back here.
Okay, thank you. And don't tell her that Daddy had anything to do with this. She wouldn't like that.
And I do the zipped lip sign.
Okay. All right. So you head up back to the room then. And what's going on in the room, guys?
Well, just
what else you want to do tonight?
I can't believe you threw him out the damn window.
He had to be dealt with.
Sure hope he's all right.
He's in a better place now.
Those extractions can really make you tired in the morning.
Yeah, Simon, this definitely doesn't seem like the kind of thing that you're used to, or at least that's how it appears. That's what you're letting on. That this is not the kind of thing that you're used to. People wheeling and dealing with humans in such a way.
It was a necessary and a very good first step on the path to finding a life for your family.
Well, as long as I can get the money I need to pay those bad men, then I'll play along.
Well, listen, the extraction went well, and I'm impressed by your talents, but ultimately we're talking small fish here. What we really need to do is follow.
I don't quite follow.
Well, you're a reasonable. You'd understand this.
I don't get what you're saying, sir.
that somnium yet you were able to create that has value.
Oh, okay.
We can only use the stuff you extracted in small quantities. Do you remember the run-in with the goblins the other night?
Sure, I remember. I got kicked into a bag of flour.
Those guards were hiding something. I'm thinking perhaps it was more somnium.
Okay, I think I know where you're going with this.
Well, I propose that we track them down and see what they're really up to.
Well, I guess so. I kind of trust you, so I can always turn around when I feel like it, so I guess I'll go with you now.
What do you think, Doctor?
I think we've got a good team here. I think we're set up. We've got, I guess that was the extra piece. If we've got a puller with us, then we've got quite a bit of power.
Okay, and so with that, you all get what rest you can, and you get things ready, and presuming that you meet down at the docks in the morning.
Let's meet at the docks in the morning.
Where are you gonna sleep tonight, y'all?
Well, I can't sleep in my room. It smells like bum and smoke.
Bum
So someone should trade me rooms.
I'll trade you.
All
I don't believe I have a room.
Yeah, I don't think any of the rest of you have rooms.
I'm gonna stay in Langdon's room if he's not gonna be in there.
Okay.
Just hang out until it's late enough that
I'm equally comfortable outdoors, so I'm gonna go find a nice quiet spot up in a tree, and take a little restful nap up in the wilderness.
Okay, so the Veldt Ranger comfortably shambles his way up into a tree and settles into the boughs for the night. And
well, I guess Mr. Langdon isn't coming back to his room. Let's get drunk.
Let's do it. We got all this brandy.
All right, so Simon and the doctor and Jerry, they all pour and they start getting into one of these barrels. And I'm going to say that you guys collectively managed to drink/spill 1 gallon of brandy tonight from the barrel there. So you got one partially drunk barrel now, but still pretty full. Okay, and next morning comes. It's a late morning, but you guys all find yourselves down at the docks, and you see what Wilfred was referring to when he said that he made some improvements to the small craft, and you actually see that Wilfred is out there on the docks. Kind of looks like he was expecting you guys would make off today. And so you're all down here on the docks. There's 2 crates there in the boat that have got Jerry's trade goods that he traded up for, minus a little bit of apple brandy. And Wilfred is there, and he says, "Hey, I heard you guys were headed upriver, and I knew you weren't going to make it just rowing your way there, so I got some stuff together for you, and well, we rigged this up early this morning."
Ah. Wow, that's quite the gift.
That sure is a nice boat.
Okay, so yeah, so now you guys, you know that you've got to go upriver here, and that the Baron's Manor is a little ways upriver, maybe a few hours sail, few hours careful sail. Not even that much, like an hour maybe.
Okay, so are we collectively going to the Barrens then?
I think we should head up to the Baron's Way. I made a promise with Reinhardt that I'd bring his daughter back. I'm sure a man like that would give us quite the favor if we do a favor for him.
I'm intrigued by the somnium that was left in the bags. Were those the Baron's men that were watching him?
That's correct. Before they were attacked by the goblins under somewhat strange and seemingly artificial circumstances.
Well, knowing this, I think that would be the logical way to pursue the somnium, or at least track down its origins. So let's sail for the Barrens.
Okay, so you guys all loading up into this little boat?
Yes.
I ain't never been on no boat before.
All right, who's taking point? Who's the scout here?
I'll scout.
Okay. Langdon's got a good perception. We'll put him out here. Who's going to run the tiller?
I'll run the rudder.
Okay. And where are you other two assholes going to go?
Up on the, I guess out on the side, or are we gonna?
There's a little kind of like fishing platforms.
Get drunk. I guess I'll just get drunk.
I ain't never been on no boat before, so I'm gonna like hobble on like real cautiously and sit down by the mast.
So you carefully get into this boat and kind of ease in position, and we'll say that you can operate the mast and the tilt, or the rudder there, Jerry, as you kind of get things going, and you guys set off down the river. It's a wide river, and as you kind of go off of this tributary past those rocks that you saw before, and that the fires are relit, you move back onto the main current, and you catch a ride, and you start heading upriver, kind of cutting way. The current's not really strong, and you can kind of weave your way back and forth, and you sail for a while. The weather's nice, and you see, in one direction, kind of far off, you can see the Veldt start to rise in the distance, and then to your left, you're near the shore and the little kind of forested area that's winds along the river. As you go up a bit, you see that there starts to be a little bit more kind of, the stream becomes a little more technical, and there start to be some little rock outcroppings and things that you're going to have to kind of maneuver around as you come up ahead. So make a perception check there, Langdon.
16.
All right, so you see up ahead there's some ripples, and you spot some low rocks that you might have to maneuver around.
Rocks there.
Okay.
Swing. Rocks to your left.
So, Jerry, we're going to have you roll. What kind of relevant? Do you have any relevant skills? And kind of like, what you got for this?
I haven't really built out any skills, but
well, you used to operate and work on the chains. I'm going to say that you own this boat, so you got to have some level of skill in it. You could have up to 3 ranks in something, related to this.
Then let's say I guess
just roll a it would be a dexterity check, and I don't have anything for it. Just say you're running on raw dex here.
Would it be like, would I have like knowledge of like water vessels or something?
I was thinking more like, operate craft kind of, skill, like a piloting skill, more like. So
Okay.
we'll just say that you got, operate vehicle kind of skill.
Okay. So would you say, like, I wasn't even sure if we were actually doing skill points or not, but
Oh yeah. But for now, we'll just roll a dex check.
Okay. I got a 13.
Okay, yeah, I had a 12 DC in mind, so you get ahead here and you can kind of maneuver, and you wind your way around some of these little rocks as they show up, you know.
Would you say, as we're doing this, though, since I've got Langdon navigating, would that give me like, sort of support bonus or advantage?
Yeah, I'm going to say that as we come up to some hazards here, if he can spot them ahead of time and tell you about them, then you're going to roll advantage on your piloting check, you know?
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay, and so let's make another perception check here, Landon. As you look and, you know, the river starts to move a little bit faster and there's stuff kind of coming up as you go here.
23.
Okay, so you kind of start barking out what you see up ahead. You say, you know, 12 o'clock, you got, you know, rock looks like it's about 3 feet, you know, current picks up, you know, etc. You're kind of barking out some of these things that you're observing, and I'm going to actually switch my camera here. Okay, oops. Wrong window, sorry. There we go. So yeah, you come up in this corner and go ahead and roll at advantage there, Jerry.
Okay, I got
Jerry.
got that
Jerry.
22.
Wow.
What'd you get, Sammy?
20.
22.
Okay.
22.
So you cleanly maneuver around this rock, and you get straightened out as the river kind of turns a bend here, and you kind of keep moving. You come around a bend under some trees, and then let's say that we've now got the professor here is in a little bit better view. So, Doctor, make your check there. Perception.
10.
10. Okay. So as you kind of dip in, and the trees obscuring Langdon's view a little bit, the professor he kind of shouts out to Jerry some of the stuff he sees, and he's not quite giving us good direction. And as you come near here, the side of the boat kind of scrapes along some rocks that come into view, but you manage to avoid them, and you come around another little bend here, and as you come around this bend, there's kind of a dugout in the side of the banks of the river here, and kind of a low hollow is formed along the riverbank.
I'm going to take up that oar next to me and try and use that to push us off any rocks that we're getting close to.
Okay. So yeah, you pick up that oar and you kind of steady it outwards as you come around this bend, and you can kind of push against the lip of this little kind of hole, this little mud cave as you come by. And make a Simon, as you see you go past this and he's pushing this out, he's kind of stretched over, pushing outwards. Make a perception check as you stare into this small abyss.
Get me off this goddamn boat. 2.
2. Okay.
I have terrible.
You look away. You're afraid to look into that dark hole, and the boat rounds the corner, and you move forward. And but Jerry, as you move forward, you feel a little bump under the boat as something slides underneath and surfaces alongside. And you see to your right the spine of some strange river creature surface and dip back below the water here.
So you've returned.
We've got company, boys.
Oh God.
It flashes kind of back beneath the waters. And all of a sudden you see up ahead there is a kind of a clearing as the river straightens out, and you can see nearby there is another small outcropping of rocks, and there's what looks like there's some kind of form kind of lodged in the rocks here, and there's rushing water kind of at the kind of blockage in the stream here at the side of that blockage. Okay, and just a second here. Gonna do a camera reveal. And so, Langdon, make a perception check.
What creature is that?
11.
Okay, so you see that up ahead there is this barge, and this barge has gotten stuck in this rocky spot in the river, and the kind of the water's rushing over the edge of it, kind of pouring over and displacing, and it's kind of obscuring the path forward. And as you head towards it, you see all of a sudden this shape of this spiny big fish emerges. So we're going to enter into combat here. And Langdon, since you're right out front, we'll give you the first turn.
Okay, cool. I'm going to take out my longbow, and I'm going to take aim and fire at it. Is this technically considered a megafauna, Woody?
Gosh. I'm going to say yes. I mean, we're playing a simple game here. It's
Cool.
a big creature. You hate it.
I fucking hate it.
You hate sea life equally, and river riparian life equal to life in the Veldlands. So you see this big kind of ugly dragonoid catfish kind of thing poking its head out from its cave, and it's stirring around. And as it comes up, you see it's kind of it's gumming on something. It's kind of a bottom feedery fish. So go ahead and make your attack, sir.
Okay, cool. Sorry, 1 second. 15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay, you fire an arrow into this beast, and it embeds itself thunk in the scaly flesh. What's your damage?
6 points of damage.
Oh, 6 points of damage. Okay, so as you do this, you see it kind of it kicks and some splashes some water up in the air and goes under the surface.
And I turn back to my compatriots and I say, and that's how it's done. That's how you deal with animals.
Okay, so
I can't understand why you hate animals so much.
And all of a sudden, we have triggered a minute. We got a timer here, and Langdon, you're having a flashback. So describe what's happening in your flashback as he asks you the question about the animals. Where are you?
Well,
where are you in this flashback?
I'm back in the homeland, and
You're back in the old country.
I'm back in the old country. I am a child. I'm near 30 years old, which I guess is pretty young for an elf.
That's you're still in your adolescence you're still in your Rumspringen as an elf.
And it's actually the first time that my parents had let me roam free. I'd been further out from like the sort of their the youngling boundary, I would suppose. And I'm out there. I was playing with some friends. We were playing a hiding game, and I got left out there for hours in the dark. Eventually, the sun went down. I decided to give up and come back, and got lost. And while lost, I was attacked by an animal, a fierce animal with fur and claws and a powerful jaw. I couldn't make out what it was in the dark, but I knew that it was a beast 2-3 times my size, 4 or 5 times my size, ready to take me down.
Okay, there you go. You got it. So that's the flashback, and this is how Langdon came to hate animals. And I love the idea that elves have like, they're like children when they're 30, like they just like mature really slowly. I think that's really funny. I'm keeping that. Okay, so flashback. It is now Jerry's turn.
Okay.
And Jerry, you can't
Hello.
quite see the terrain up ahead.
Come on.
Everybody's
Okay.
standing up there.
Am I basically just responsible of keeping the boat under control at this point?
Yeah, it seems like that. I mean, you don't have to do it, but somebody's got to do it, and you get your hands on it.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to tell Simon to lower the lower. I guess that's probably not.
If you want to kill your form of momentum, you could lower the sail. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say I'm gonna call out to Simon to lower the sail while I keep the boat under control, and I'm gonna try and continue to safely guide us towards the barge that is beached or that's stuck or whatever it is.
Okay, so Simon, you've never been in a boat before, but you know basically what you got to do, but you're going to have to roll an effort check and then do a certain amount of effort to get this sail down. It's going to be an easy check, so you just...
Don't make me do anything, please.
We can do a straight dex check against a 10, and then you're going to roll a d6. You're looking for 3 points of effort to lower the sail.
Okay, dex check is 4. God,
okay, a 4. All right, you start fumbling with the rope, you pick up the wrong end, and you're kind of like, I don't know, and you don't quite manage to pull down the sail.
Jesus Christ. Fucking
You guys start creeping further towards.
I'm sorry, guys, I couldn't do it.
Professor, Doctor, steady with, keep kind of guiding with the oar.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's give you a check as well to see if you can stop it. Just using the oar and everything here, so we don't crash into the barge.
I'll tell Jerry to turn it into the wind.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Go ahead and make
make
a check. Just make a dex check.
12.
Okay, and then roll a d6 for effort, just to we'll say if you can get 4 effort, then you get things kind of turned around and stopped by pushing the 4. 4. Okay, so you kind of pull things around and you kind of turn the boat so that the sail goes slack. You're turned into the wind, and you kind of sidle up alongside the barge here and kind of gently bump against the barge. And inside the barge, you see a familiar figure. This is looks like the barge you saw earlier that you dumped Metro Steve onto, and he's there, and he's kind of in this big mishmash of like wet grain and splintered wood. There's river water piling over the side and kind of slowly like kind of washing the grain away, and you see him just like out cold here in this kind of a big wet pile.
He's still asleep.
Langdon, it's your turn.
I'm gonna step onto the barge and I'm gonna slap him awake.
Okay, so you neatly, kind of nimbly with your elven feet, you slide off the barge here, and you lean over and you give a deft smack to Steve. And I'm just gonna have you go ahead and just do a straight roll, just kind of roll for efficacy against a failure here.
Okay, I got a 14.
All right, so you smack him, and he bolts upright, and he screams, "Ah!" And he lets out a terrifying scream, and he turns and he looks, frightened, basically, and he says, "Where the hell am I?"
I said, "Hey, shitbag, how'd you end up out here?"
Oh, he says, "I don't feel so good," and he turns and he starts vomiting over the side of the barge here, throwing up this kind of yellow bile, foul smell. It smells like, sulfurous and everything. And he starts puking over the side of this little barge, even as it's kind of topsy-turvy.
Hey, shithole. You wake up after a bad night?
I'm going to go to Jerry's turn here.
Cool.
Can I So is the barge? Is it kind of like? Is it just like propped up against a rock, or is it like beached, or what exactly is holding it in place?
Yeah, it's propped up against a rock, so it's kind of like stuck between some rocks in the middle of the river, effectively.
Okay. Well, I'm basically just gonna stay at the rudder. I don't want to leave my spot. So
It looks like in order to pass through here, you're gonna have to either go around or you're gonna have to like loose the barge so that it gets back in the flow of things and frees up your spot.
okay. Well,
So yeah, if you're just holding the till, it's fine too. Just giving you that.
Langdon, why don't you check and see what's in those bags?
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and search. While that guy's puking, I'll start searching the bags.
Okay, we'll get back to you in just a second. But we're going to go to Simon's turn. And Simon, as they're talking back and forth, you notice something off to your left, and all of a sudden, a big weird catfish spits back up, and it kind of like raises a kind of a almost like a seal-like claw up and tries to rake here at the doctor. So what are you gonna do, Simon?
Boys, that thing's back. I'll announce it to the group.
Okay, you announce to the group, and doctor.
Okay. I'm gonna take a shot at it with my hand crossbow.
Okay, so you got this thing loaded. You pull it out.
I got a 19.
Okay, 19 you hit, and you shoot a little bolt into this thing's shit.
Four damage.
Is that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a crit. I'd have to check.
Hand crossbow in 3.5 is 1920. So
Okay.
I can check for you real quick. Yeah.
We'll say it's a crit. This thing raises its ugly head up, and you definitely quickly turn and fire a crossbow bolt.
Nice.
Right into one of its eyes. So go ahead and roll for double damage.
All right. I got a 4 and 2. 6.
Okay, so you give it another 6 points of damage, and it goes kind of and it scurries, and it is going to kind of as it sweeps, it's going to try to kind of give you a tail swap, but it misses. It just kind of splashes your wool coat, and it kind of goes off this way. Okay, and now it's Langdon's turn. So Langdon.
Is the fish still up, or did it disappear into the water?
The fish is up. It just started swimming away. It's just
okay.
Dipping away basically.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and try to take pop a shot at it. Since it's disgusting and showing its face again.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you are not having any of this fishy nonsense. And
natural 20.
Oh, you arc your bow and you shoot a critical hit towards this thing. Roll for your damage.
14 damage. So it's 7 times 2.
Okay, so you fire just this real wicked shot, and it sticks in the back of this thing, and kind of there's this gurgling bubble as some red liquid shoots out of some unknown organ in this thing's back, and it you hear this weird kind of aquatic bark. Then this thing turns over and goes belly up and drifts and just boom, and it's pushing up against the side of the boat, basically dead, floating there. Well, now we've got this real just clusterfuck log jam going on here up in the barge. And it continues to put pressure on the barge as it starts to tip, and Langdon, you and Steve kind of get jostled, and all of a sudden water kind of rushes over. Some of these get washed away and kind of sucked down into the river. And you guys are going to both make a dexterity check to see if you also go overboard. So you got one first, and we'll give you advantage. You kind of saw this coming, Langdon. So go ahead and roll a dexterity check against a 13. Get out of this one.
Got a 16 as my highest.
What's that?
16.
16. Okay, so as the thing kind of dips and chucks, you get to the top and you push off, and you neatly jump off onto the bow of the little craft here. And as the barge starts to buckle, Steve makes his check, and he gets a 10. And so he kind of runs towards you, but he kind of falls and gets washed down with the barge here. You see him starting to go under. Ooh, he kind of starts slipping in the water here. And he kind of gets sucked under here, and his hand pops up as he's going kind of washed under here. He's kind of caught underneath the fish carcass there, and his hand reaches out towards you, Simon.
I'm going to grab it. I feel so bad for performing that ritual on him and putting him in this situation.
So go ahead and roll a dexterity check there.
Come on, baby.
What a shithole. No, don't save him.
Don't let that thing.
Can I use my luck? I want to use my lucky feat. So can I get 2 roll? That's an extra d20 roll.
Okay, yeah. So roll 3 rolls and then take the better one, or 2 rolls, yeah, and we'll take the better one.
Well, 16 and.
Okay, you grab him. You pull him out. So with one strong pull, you pull Steve up out of the water, and boom, he kind of pops up out of the slimy fish's underbelly and gets pulled onto the boat here. And he's spitting up, and he goes, "Oh!" And he looks up at you, and he breathes in there. He says, "Oh, thank you. You saved my life."
You're welcome, mister.
And then with that, the rest of the barge crumbles and cracks, and this grain goes spilling into the river, and the barge sinks, and the boat is freed, and it continues its course. And so you guys push off on down the river. And as you go, you see a patch of green that kind of a little safe patch along the river, and stacked along the river's edge is a pile of stacked logs. And you can see that this is probably the loggers' camp. And we will leave things with that for tonight.
All right.
Okay, nice work, guys. That's good. Good role playing.
Really fucked that fish, seal, dragon thing up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that thing got fucked up, man. 2 crits. Wait, so if I get a crit, do I do 2 times my normal damage, or do I just roll 2d6 instead of 1d6?
Well, theoretically, it would be the same, but I guess yes is the answer. Like, I don't know. How is that typically handled, Jeff? I think it could be either way,
Well,
the way
I think it's kind of up to the DM's discretion, but what we used to do was actually roll multiple dice. But I think that was partially just because it was more fun to, like, if you got to roll like 3d6 on a critical, it's more fun to roll like 3 dice.
Yeah, I'm looking at the 5th edition rules on criticals anyway, and it says to roll 2 of the 2 of the die, or double the die, however much it is, instead of just doubling it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I personally don't mind which way you do it, but if that's what it's reading, then that's what people are into. But if we want to make that the party rule, that's fine with me. Okay, I'm going to stop the broadcast here.